after that Lindor home run yesterday. Where do you stand on the Ohtani Lindor MVP conversation?
Well, I don't stand any differently than I have for a while. I think that Francisco is making a great case for himself as the MVP. I think that Ohtani does amazing things. There's no question. He's got the world stage, and everything he seems to do has some magic to it. But that said, there's never been an MVP that's been a DH, and I think that there is something about playing on both sides of the ball and something about the fact that Francisco Lindor posts up every single day on both sides of the ball and is a plus defender. And to me, he's also the guy that you could not imagine the Mets in this position without him and what he's doing. And I think that if they get to a playoff position, I think that becomes a big factor. And I think you see that race get a little bit more close. The odds makers are still putting Ohtani way ahead, but I think it gets a lot closer if you see the Mets get into postseason play.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think that the playoff picture and the finishing strong has a lot to do with it. I think that Francisco probably holistically on every facet of the game is as valuable as you could possibly be to a team, defensively, hitting, scoring runs, being a leader in the clubhouse, talking to guys, everything. He does everything so well. And I think it's just going to come down to when a guy does something like for the first time in history, like if there's a 50-50 out of Ohtani, it's going to be a really hard, mountain to climb there, just because it's, Francisco's having an all-time year, but it's one of those like really strong years that most years have. And to get a 50-50, it's a tough thing. But if they do end hot here and make a run, that's gonna make a big difference. And I think it's the same kind of thing on the other side with Aaron Judge is the clear front runner for me, but Bobby Witt Jr.'s team, if they get in and he shows how big of a part of that he is, that's going to close that gap a little bit too. But it's just one of those things. There's two special guys doing arguably things that have been done in the first time in history. It's hard to make a case against that. But in my opinion, Francisco is, at least in that clubhouse and on that team for the 2 years I was there, he was our MVP the whole time.